Max, what are you doing?
Hold that thought real quick though. As Godsent, oh never mind. The replay going on. That is going to be Zoil able to get D2E there. But we're looking at the bottom. Secret Jin and Godsent did end up getting into that engagement. You can see Cosmos trying to catch Rollkiss while he is driving away, hitting that Marauder, hitting that pedal down to the metal, trying to get on out of there. Zuku has a decent angle again. Yeah, there goes RRQ. Done. Completely. Out right there, but guess what, Dave?
Guess what?
Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom right of your screen. Woo. Redeem it in game now. Put them codes in. First 100 people. Get it done. Get them fingers moving, baby.
You know who could put those codes in right now? RRQ. RRQ. Put them codes in. They got time. Oh, that's BM. Sorry about that. I had to do it. So, let's see. We got the codes. We got the action. Secret Jin looking to hunt down Godsent to finish off what they started. Secret Jin, 2K Cosmos, they were picked apart in the process. Will they be able to get the pickups? Bluebees in the area as well, a.k.a. the Bulldozers.
Great shots there from Rollkiss, trying to get some revenge for his team, and he's definitely putting in some work downrange. Secret Jin is pinched really hard between Bluebees as well. You can see Kangzo there. Oh, it's going to spot Reiji. Get a great shot with that 3x Gar. That's going to be a solid knock from them. But oh, he hears that Marauder coming from the back. Here comes Rollkiss. What a brave play from him. And he's going to get punished. Yeah, that is a very risky send indeed. But Bluebees, they want a piece of this as well. But here comes the rest of Godsent. I mean, man, what a crazy three-way battle right now.
We have a three-way battle right now, but this is right in the middle of this circle. So other teams are going to be hearing this fight and looking to even fourth party this one right now. So honestly, Godsent, Secret Jin, Bluebees, you got some picks. You might get a kill. You might get 2 kills, but you can get a shot third party from Bluebees out there. Navy and Angel from above looking out right there.
Navy, those jukes were disgusting. Able to survive just a little bit longer. Looks like Execute was able to get the finish there on the football list. They're going to be going out early. And this is only circle number 2.
Yeah, that was in the blue all the way up to the north. So that is much needed points for Execute and much needed loot. They need to get those meds in order to continue pushing on into zone, because the next shift, it did go all the way down there to the south.
At the same time, though, this is only circle number 3. We've seen this much action, and that is because of this, just where this first circle opted to go. I mean, these rotations are absolutely insane. You know, these teams don't have a lot of experience. Yeah, they don't have a lot of experience with these type of circles either. So I think we're starting to see a lot of extra, you know, action just purely due to that.
I mean, circle 1, Miramar, 40% water. It's gonna create some chaos. Looking real quick though, Loops playing the coastline, playing this one slow and steady. They have been avoiding a lot of fights. Power Triple Eight though on the opposite end, straight sending it. Gonna be getting peppered and losing Corpy in the process.
And Corpy just got bullied right there from Bluebees and Nova, completely pinched. You can see Jimmy there in his buggy, trying to get a rotation off, get some more intel. As after that point, yeah, they're going to try to spread themselves out a little bit and find out where the best spot's going to be for this next circle.
Looking for that best spot, and it's going to be, I mean, right now it's a coin flip. It is a coin flip. You never really know. Loop's going to be betting on the fact that Water, the edge, will still be in play for the next zone. Even if it's not, they're going to have a decent little buffer between them and everybody else, because a majority of the teams right now, we're looking at them, they are up here in the north. You got A1, you got Power Triple A, you got Nova, Bluebees, Konina Power, 4 a.m., and now Execute pushing on in from the northern end.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of kills come up in this early game. Lufa switching to that 6x. Onto that barrel, grabbing to go back to the red dot. Is going to catch Cool Boy. Man, great movement, though, from Lufa. This guy can really make some good moves here. trying to get the spray down through the smokes, but there's Paraboy right there waiting for him with that nice laydown. Ido-chan, though, able to get another member from XQF. This is a really big battle. Oh, and here comes A1. RxJax from the back, trying to throw some nades and just third-party this fight.
Yeah, A1 feeling really good about themselves after their last game. Much needed points. They're looking for some more points. That one grenade will alert Coolboy. Okay, we got a team showing up right from behind us, and that's actually going to allow Bluebees the much needed time to get the reset.
This is some tough terrain to fight on right here. You got to be able to make them peaks just so perfectly on those hills. It's so much different range. Look at this circle, though. Shift all the way south. And Loops, they're going to be sitting pretty. The rest of the squad's got to move their way down. And you can see Lupa trying to catch Power 888 on their vehicle rotation. That's the tough part about Miramar. You got to use them vehicles, but will it pay off for them? Oh, Ragey trying to get those spots. A1 as well. I mean, just shots, just absolute mayhem going here in Miramar.
We have 13 teams, and only one of the teams, Loops, are in the zone. Everybody else up here in the north, straight sending it down here. We are going to see teams just get shredded on the rotate, because one thing that adds injury to insult, the terrain is so difficult to move across with vehicles.
And I'll tell you what, this is not Miramar. This is going to be Gatekeep City for all these teams right now, as they're just going to have to drive and fully send it on in. But like you mentioned, look at this terrain. So difficult to drive on through, but they have to drive in there, because this next zone's going to start closing on them really quickly. Here comes Ido putting it into four-wheel drive, try to head up this mountain.
Izute in the buggy, Navy still alive. Oh, Navy from Godson still alive, trying to make sure to stay alive right now. I really wish Beer 11 was still alive swimming, because there is water in this new circle. But Paraboy from Nova, they're still going to be racking up the points this game.
That's going to be one of them right there for him. Paraboy getting that confirmed. He's going to be heading on over to Coolboy now, and they're going to try to get into this buggy and send it on over. Now they're getting they're getting peppered back in return. But that buggy is smoking. It's in a lot of trouble. Paraboy's going to have to try and get the... Yeah, they're just going to opt to just get out and just have to push their way on in. Oh, it looks like they found another buggy, though.
What? Talk about luck.
Lucky buggy.
Lucky buggy. I mean, this terrain, you might think it's your best friend because it provides cover, but it's not your best friend. They're catfishing you, because this terrain, you cannot move across this without being spotted in a vehicle. We see everybody just trying to close the gap, but they're all, just hanging on by a thread right now.
You look, even Paraboy in a buggy. That's one of the most mobile vehicles, and it's just so difficult to move up in this spot right now. As we move on over, though, look at this SQX
Bus
with the Car 98 8X, switching into FPP. M46X laying down, trying to get that laser beam, but they're gonna go ahead and get on by from here. And man, this is probably one of the most difficult. Yeah, look at this. I mean, so tough to move on through. This is probably the most tough rotation I've seen for all these squads in PMGC.
Everybody's struggling except for Loops. They're on the beach. They're out there chilling, getting their suntan, just letting everybody pick each other apart right here. 12 teams to go. Alpha 7 here, right on the edge in the north, trying to make sure A1 do not have a safe... Oh, I thought that was close. Have a safe push into this new zone.
Who's doing really good so far as well. They've racked up 5 kills to their name.
Yep.
Nicotronic getting 5 as well. I mean, these are just these teams that are in the circle already and just catching all these teams on these vehicle rotations. Look at Law. Yeah, just catching Sinister. Slipping right there. A1 eliminated right there in 12th. I mean, this is just a battle of the rotations.
And we can't stress enough, like, this terrain playing such a huge factor in this game. I mean, look at Bigatron. They're trying to push uphill. At least they have some cover. The next zone does going up. Konina Power, they sent it down there to the shorelines. They will be fighting with Loops here very shortly for that southern half. But 4 AM, DA, XQ, Alpha 7, Zeus, everybody else up there to the north, nowhere to go.
Yeah, and what a great nade right there to finish off Godsent. They're going to go out in 11. 10 teams remaining. Bluebees putting on the shimmies right now, trying to figure out how they're going to be able to get into this next circle. There's 21 seconds left, but guess what? This is circle number 5. This is where the blue zone really starts getting to hurt, and you got Bigatron, the best team in this lobby, gatekeeping you.
Ooh, so close. Very close. Bigatron trying to make sure to take out this stinger from Bluebees. Looks like they will be getting one pickup. They got the smokes, but they need to push. The blue zone will start to close in here very shortly. Rise and Zuxi one after another. Mini red zone right now, Hot Jukes.
Yeah, they're just throwing all the kit they possibly can because they know Papa Blue is coming, and that's going to hurt them more than anything. But those nades are just going to force them to kind of wait a little bit longer. But after that, Bigatron are going to start heading into this circle, little by little, like they normally do. And we'll see what kind of plays they're able to make. 4 a.m., I've seen them in the kill feed. They're popping off as well. This is a crazy, crazy battle here. We do not get to see this circle finish in Miramar very often.
And Zeus, they started this game with the bridge camp. They still have their team alive. They got 5 kills and they got the hard cover in this new zone. Bigatron, though, trying to take down the last remaining member, Cool Boy, from Nova in that shack right here.
This could be Zeus's game. This could be Zeus's game. They have the best position so far. They're in 18th place. You know they want it bad, but we got to watch Zuxi making some big shots onto Blue Bees. Cool Boy trying to spoil them with a surprise nade down the mountain. This is one of the most difficult areas, though, to throw grenades, just due to how much terrain elevation there is here. Zuxi's going to try to throw one for himself, pushing to FPP, try to get a better spot. But yeah, these are some tough nades to hit.
And I want, on the roof. Okay, I want to point out, though, real quick, Bigatron, they were grouped up just a moment ago. Once when Cool Boy started to toss some grenades, they immediately separated to make sure that they cannot all go down by one grenade. The question is, do they know Cool Boy is up here on the roof? Because this is a 200 IQ play.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think they realize it at all. Oh, never mind. Ryzen able to spot him there at the last second. I mean, what great synergy right there from Bigatron to be able to get that spot. Now, Digital Athletics getting shut down big time, but 33 spawn. And there comes Law as well. I mean, these squads are just getting pinched like crazy. Sook trying to pick up all the loot he can really quickly. Moving up little by little. There goes Digital Athletics out in 7th. And 4 a.m., 8 kills so far.
Doing great. They are doing great. And I like the utility coming out from a lot of these teams, the mollies, the grenades. It's way safer to throw a grenade over the hill instead of peeking on over the hill. At least try to fish out your enemies. Bigatron, though, trying to get the upper hill advantage and look down on top of Alpha 7. Let's see if that'll pay off.
They'll see indeed. This is why I love Bigatron so much. Regardless of whether they get the circle or not, they just push together as a team and bully their way in as a squad. And you can see Sook able to get some shots onto Ronan inside this house. That's going to bring some attention to ICY, and ICY is going to get caught on the rotate up. And these two members from Zeus, I mean, they're doing a 2-2 split, and they're done for.
Yeah, that is huge. Zeus, they had the whole team up. They had the 2-2 split, making sure to maintain their dominance in both of the only compounds. But they just lost one of their flank. And on the opposite end, I saw one of the Bigatron teammates pushing on into the other flank of the duo from Zeus. So Zeus, they might have had a better chance of grouping up right here instead of spreading that thin. 4 a.m. will be overthrowing that one compound. We'll see, though. Zeus still, I mean, a very good game for them.
Yeah, very good game indeed, but you're right. They got to be able to group up together. They're grouped up in a vehicle, though, but with Zuxi on that off angle, that will help them out a little bit to get on by, but some shots all the way from across the map from Sook are going to shut down that off angle. Bigatron now in big trouble as they got their eyes locked on by almost every single team here. We'll see how long they're going to be able to survive for. Sook's going to try to get that confirm onto Zuxi.
10 kills.
10 kills so far, and oh, look at this, M16 single tapping. There goes one. Trying to get another. It looks like it's just Ryzen versus Golden here. Oh, but Ryzen's gonna give a burn! And that is it. Bigatron done.
The third party, though. I mean, 4 a.m., they scooped up 2 more points after that fight, and that's kind of a shame for Loops, because Loops, okay, top 5 situation, very challenging circle, I get it. But Loops, they have no kills. They might have 1 kill at this point. They've been playing the circles this whole game. So yes, placement points very important, but if they get taken out right now, that's only 6. With only 1 kill, that'll be 7 in total. I would hate for them to get taken out right now after, playing these zones so well and not really getting rewarded that much.
Hey, Loops putting the papers on their boss's desk, but 4 a.m. coming in, scooping up and handing it to the boss themselves, getting all the credit right there. And you can see 12 kills so far. Got to be able to get those thirsts and finishes. The next zone is going to shift onto them as well. So, I mean, this game is really starting to finish in their direction. Still 10 players remaining. 4AM have a duo up. Opting to go ahead and shoot out those buggy tires. Really well played from them. The 6X AK coming into play in the late game here in Miramar.
Yeah, Zeus really kicking the can on this one. If only they were grouped up. They were in that compound that 4AM overthrew them with. They would have had 4, and they would have had the zone. Now 4AM are the only 2 players in this circle with any type of solid cover. Loops over there on the edge.
Trouble.
Yeah, huge trouble. I believe they have a vehicle, but even if they do, Konita Power, they're going to be moving already with the gatekeep.
Yeah, that's literally the worst possible rotation, circle rotation for Loops. They're going to try to put some shots up range and make a play. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it, though. Oh, Konita Power, while 4AM's attention is all on Loops, they're starting to head up this hill very, very sneakily. Here goes Soup with that 6X M4, trying to get some knocks. Golden with that buggy. He's going to get a little rotate up. This would be an insane, insane rotation from Loops if they're able to survive here.
Golden was able to rotate on in here and provide that cover fire to allow their other 2 squad mates to run across the open terrain. Not enough cover fire. Golden, what happened to the shots, man?
He had to move up a little bit more, and that's going to leave his teammates hanging big time. And now Golden getting caught in the 2v1. Yeah, just Loops trying to do their best, but with that circle rotation, it's just proved to be too difficult for them to be able to make it in. Konita Power, 1 kill. Oh, Sook. Man, look at 4 angry men just pop off with this duo. They have just been bullying everybody in this position right here. I mean, they are the kings of the hill right now, and they're looking to finish this off with the chicken dinner.
Ooh, but Rob Deeney, though, was able to pick up that level 3. Yep, got the M249. If there is a player on your team that you want to give that to and have that fighting chance, it is Rob Deeney as Zeus. Zeus, they also have a solo. So 2 solos versus a duo of 4AM up here on the high ground.
Oh, the blue. The blue is coming in now onto Abilene from Zeus. And I think he's going to opt to go for the heal strat here. Yeah,
he's a lot of heals.
He's just going to heal it on up. So Zeus, they're done for. It's only a matter of time, and that's going to be it right there. So Konita Power have confirmed at least a 2nd place finish. Will we see the insane jump down 180 shots onto Rob Deeney? That would just be absolute suicide. It's not needed, though, as 33 Spawn gets the spot and gets the finish, man. 4 angry men from up top. That duo shredded everybody.
Yeah, and I really wanted to see Rob Deeney go out swinging right there with the M249, but honestly, Rob Deeney, no cover. We saw there at the end, the duo from 4AM. They separated, they split up to make sure to look down. They knew Rob Deeney was down there. They knew for a fact. They heard him from earlier on. They split it 50-50. So even if Rob Deeney was to connect onto one of the duo from 4AM, the other one would have been right there for that cover fire, for that support in order to get that chicken dinner. Very smart movement from 4AM. That whole game. I mean, they were like, their brain was on another level that whole game.
You know, Zeus, they're going to want that one back big time. I mean, that just goes to show you that, especially in late game, it's just better to have that four-man squad together. But hey, like Obi-Wan, 4 angry men were looking down at everybody and say, I have the high ground. But let's see, of course, what the thoughts are from the expert after this wonderful match number 3.
Well, I think my thoughts are, don't piss off 4 angry men. Don't turn them into 4 furious men who are going to clean up so many kills against you and clean up so many points, because they've done that today. We called them out. Bigatron 60 points ahead of our 2nd place team, and that gap has now dwindled away. Not totally, not completely just yet, but it has cut in about half.
Yeah, I mean, Sook alone got... So, absolute massive performance, 17 kill, 32-point game. It is good, but the problem is that Bigatron was still there in 4th place, so there's a 13 points, so they only managed to gain a little bit of ground, considering obviously we just saw them a moment ago. Are you going to do the maths?
No, well, it's 19 points they gained on the 60, so if I do my math correctly, that's around like 41.
And they gained 20 in the last game, so they didn't actually gain anything overall.
Yeah, so I mean, they should still be like, what, 41 points if you're behind, if I did my math correctly. Alpha 7 get in there, Loops get in there. I feel kind of bad for Loops, but you know what I feel worse for?
Absolutely.
I feel worse for Max, who again talked about Argentina and how well they would do on Miramar, and another time they drop out early. Max,
Which was good for Zeus,
Yeah,
that's true.
but not good for RRQ.
RRQ, I would like to assume an apology right now. I am so sorry. I will not mention your name anymore when we head into a Miramar game. I will be your personal maid for a day. There you go.
Personal maid. There we go.
I'll wear the maid outfit and
You're wearing
everything.
the outfit?
I'll
Yeah,
wear everything, okay?
okay.
I'm so sorry. But like one game that I'm really happy for was
like.
actually just mentioned it. Like one of the first times that they did good and they took position themselves. They were not gifted a circle. They were like, you know what? I have enough of being gifted circles and taking good games by luck. We're going to go dead center. We took the compound. The unfortunate run of events is that you had 4 angry men like, is that your compound? No.
Our compound.
My compound.
So the thing is, they went for this
You made
2-2
this?
split, right? They went for this 2-2 split, and it didn't quite pay off. I talked about it yesterday with Bigatron recognizing the compound and the negative areas of it. So they realized they needed someone on the hillside. Like you can't just have 2-2 in a house because you can't cover the angles from that compound.
And we're going to take a look at our do the do moments here. And one other team that I did feel kind of bad for was like Loops. They were in such a tough spot of knowing they have to cross that road. And not only did they have to deal with 4 a.m. raining down bullets on top of them, then they had Kunina Power last second jump in and be like, hey, we're still alive, guys.
I mean, they came around from El Azahan, like they went through the entire coastline on the east and entered through the south. I think it was a good
How's your
idea.
heart here, Max.
There you go. This is your main man. To be fair, ICY was alone
skip.
at this point. ICY was the one-man bridge camp, and obviously held them all at bay. They pulled up, and then the rest of the team arrived. And
You know, if Team Secret's meme game was as good, or no, sorry, other way around. If RQ Athena's meme game was as good as Team Secret, there'd be a post on Twitter about them
They'll be calling
never
me
wanting
out.
you to say their name ever.
but why
again.
rotate so deep? Like, why? I mean, why go over Los Higos?
Yeah, there's no reason for that to happen.
Never going to
really.
work. There's 2 exits.
El Podzo normally, and then they were like, what? And now they're in different locations. They don't usually play there. They don't know the terrain that well. Zeus always dropped towards Valdemar, so
yeah.
they know exactly what they were doing. So they had full control. But otherwise, this game went pretty nice the entirety of the time. Not too much of an issue. But like, it did go heavily down southeast, which is something that really, when it comes down to these Miramar games, doesn't happen all that much.
Yeah, it pulled down to the coastline. I mean, the second circle itself was like 50% water. So, okay, this is going a deep one. I was surprised we didn't see as many teams go for the coastline area where Loops did, which is why Loops actually had so little kills, because nobody went there. They all stayed up on the hills, and it was just carnage on the hillside of people fighting left and right. Obviously, Nova falling to Bigatron. Bigatron taking out Bluebees as well. Then they fell down to Loops, and, well, actually, Sukmet got 2 of the kills for them, helping out from the hillside. Suk's positioning and prowess in this game was phenomenal.
It just reminded me of footballists with Vikendi on Castle, right?
Yeah.
Just holding these positions and just trying to rain down fire on anyone that tried to approach.
There you go, his Suk. I mean, that was before he got in the house. Then he gets the knock to take the compound, to push in, gets the compound, and then goes hungry looking for kills.
I mean, Sven also did pretty decent in that
Yeah.
game. You do have to say they were both working so good together. And like from that high ground position, they had like just like yesterday on Vikendi, as you mentioned, Jason, they had all the information on the world and all the teams down below. That was Bigatron, that was Loops, that was Kunina Power. They could not fight in any way, shape, or form because they had the information through the windows. It was that third-person perspective. The spray came out from Suk, picked up one, then went for the second. Like, there's literally nothing you can do in those final moments. It was a given game for Fire Angry Men the moment they had that compound under control.
And Zeus are going to be kicking themselves because of it, because they got that knock. But it's a very different position because obviously 4am are looking out the eastern side of the house, which is far more coverage. The western side is obviously protected by the hill, which is where 4 Angry Men came from.
Let's take a look, though, at our total damage. I'm curious if the damage numbers do translate as well into the kills for 4 Angry Men, if they stole a lot of the ones they were able to pick off. And then as well see the other teams, and, well, I can pretty much just say they earned them. 2,700 damage done. The next closest is Bigatron at about 1,400. Again, Execute down towards the bottom of the table here, really struggling when it's come to this second super weekend.
I mean, it goes to show, like, the compound that Zeus were holding on to, if they kept it for even longer, they could have got the amount of kills 4 Angry Men got. Right, they could have got, at least maybe not all the entirety of it, but got really, really close. And I think that going for a 2-2 split when you know you're going to be pushed eventually was something that I think they should have maybe tried and tend to regroup to make up for compound breach, like happened with 4 Angry Men. That's something that was still really hard to deal with in the long run. But Bigatron, you know, another good game. No, staying on top once again. They got themselves a good push. They got some kills. It's Bigatron.
Another game that we've got such high kills, 17 kills. It's so rare that you see that, yet we're actually starting to see them almost every game from
More
these
often,
because
yeah.
they're performing so well.
Yeah, and that's obviously does change our standings up quite a bit, which we're going to take a look at now and see if any shifts have happened. And of course, see how close now Four Angry Men is to approaching Bigatron at first place. So there you can see 290 up against the 249. I think what kind of blows my mind, and we'll see on the second page when we get to it, is that Bigatron have more kills than some teams, than a lot of teams have in points total.
True. Actually, now they bring that up, that's actually a little bit mind-blowing to me. Like, after I like it, you're going to have yourself a class, 100 positioning points, 100 kill points, 200 points total. That feels really good. You know, I like it when you got, like, even numbers, straight up, 100, 100, 200. Yeah, there you go. It's just ASMR, visual ASMR for me.
I mean, this goes back to yesterday, Four Angry Men. If they had not had such a disastrous day, even just an average day, they'd be hot on the heels of Bigatron right now. But because they had that bad day, it really punishes them in the Global Championships. But they've done really well to get 39 points ahead of third place.
And we do see Execute overtake Arrow with Limax finally, tying things up with Team Secret. But again, this is where they need to really stretch their legs and start to overtake a lot more point gaps between these teams. And footballs as well.
Yeah, it's
really
been bad.
Day, Demon.
It's been a bad day for them. I'm going to go back and look at the points because I think they've got like 4-5 points today, maybe. Most out of the first 3 games. Not good.
Let's take a look, though, at our third and final page. We do see 8-1 and
45.
Caught up.
45.
They caught up real good. Like, normally if you want a 25-point average per day, you should be around 50. 5 points in still, like, 2 games. Easily doable here, D-Man.
Yeah.
They can easily make it up there.
They're looking good to get into the top 16, which is obviously where, the qualification spot is to reach the finals.
And of course, Godsend as well had a little bit of an uprising in that one, 20 points. Obviously not exactly where they want to be, but it's a good start for them to try to get back into our second Super Weekend. And speaking about Godsend and our EMEA teams, we have our missions coming in for you guys at home, playing from these regions, and we need to see 1 chicken dinner for the basic mission, 2 for the advanced, and 4 for the super. And right now, well, it's looking a little bit rough so far today.
We had one stolen yesterday.
Yeah.
Does that count? Does that count?
Stolen chicken dinners do not count. It would be good for the rule set, but at least they got 1. Thanks to Footballists yesterday, but need a little bit more here.
Yeah, well, we'll see how those develop, obviously, as time goes on. And we're going to head to a break here. And when we come back, we have our 4th game of the day ready for you.
The PUBG Mobile Global Championship is brought to you by the title sponsor, Qualcomm Snapdragon Elite Gaming, the official beverage sponsor, Mountain Dew, and OnePlus 8T 5G smartphone, the official partner phone.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting underway now with our 4th match today, and it's going to be on Sandhawk, so things are going to be heating up here, getting moist, as we're going to be looking our eyes towards our 4th match, and actually getting really close to passing our 2/3 of the way through our 2nd Super Weekend. But before we get to that, we wanted to talk about a play we had happen yesterday on Vikendi with Power 888 and Secret Jin, and the whole idea of this play, if I'm not mistaken, Demon, is just to kind of explain high ground advantage.
That's it. There's a couple of things. I'll go over and have a show and exactly what we did. This was the battle, which actually would have set Secret Jin up in a much better position if they'd have come out on top. Didn't go so well for them. There's a couple of things to take away from this one. First, let's get rid of that. I want to talk about the fact that if you're coming into a compound, you've got to make sure you're going to double check. You can't just go in one by one. So Corpy here with the micro Uzi sees 3 members of Secret Jin coming in. He thinks, okay, I'm in trouble. There is actually one more teammate with him that will come and join him in a second, but effectively it's a 2v4. So just watch his positioning to start with. Corpy gets himself a quick, effectively a 1v1. As he pulls out, great little spray down, and then Cosmos realizes, okay, I'm in a 1v1 position, this is dangerous, so works for it. And that's a great start for Power 888 here, who obviously had a pretty good day here. Secret Jin had their best day as well. Immediately gets knocked, so you think, okay, that's it. Secret Jin have got this in the bag. But no, keep your eyes on the prize, because here comes the support. And how Stops comes out on top of this one is the fact that he uses the rooftop. He uses what's around him, uses his ridge line. Instead of just thinking, I'm just going to walk around and try and finish them off. No, he makes use of the terrain around him. And obviously with these rooftops, he gets a full advantage. Kenzo comes in, he's like, what is going on, guys? Why are you in so much trouble? And he quickly pops up, and again, he's taking it down to 1v1s. That's all about the positioning, because instead of Secret Jin using the number advantage they had all throughout this, he keeps on popping around into 1v1s. All 3 of these 1v1s. He obviously got the Corpy with the quick skip around, and look at that. The hop over. You love to see it. We've seen it so many times, but the little play, using the terrain, realizing his danger, straight down and around. Beautiful stuff. And that's what it's all about. The fact is that, you don't need to just try and go for these blind positional plays and just go for the standard, are going to push around the corner, because people will just pre-fire you. So instead he thinks, okay, I'm going to have to hop up and over and use the high ground. Yeah,
I think that's a really good breakdown, especially what you just said about, when you're taking a 1v4, if you can break it down to a 1v1 and another 1v1 and another 1v1, that's how you clutch it, really. That's what you saw happen with Ryzen versus Futbolist in that Miramar game. Took the first angle, then switched over to another 1v1, took the other angle and took the fight once again. So really that's the best way to clutch it. I didn't think about that.
I like the way 2K played it too, his position, because he was off to the side and he knew that Corpy could push out and take down his 2 teammates, but because he was
expecting the push.
Yeah.
Exactly. He stops that from happening, so he actually keeps his teammates alive to have the potential to res them up if they do close out the kill. But obviously it didn't work out that way for them. But it's time now to head into our 4th match of the day. Sandhawk's coming up, and it's going to be brought to you by John Allen and Blake.
Of course it is, mate. Would we have it out of the way? No, I don't think so. How are you doing, Blank? I'm doing great so far. We're ready to get into Sandhawk.
How are you doing, John? I'm doing fine. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, you didn't even wait for my answer. That's very rude of you. You just announced how you were doing.
I'm doing fine. Let's get into Sandhawk. As we know, a couple of teams starting to step up a little bit better today over the course of the games we've seen. Obviously, Bigatron continue to dominate a lot of these games.
Yeah.
But some other teams are being thrown into the mix.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's nice to see. We're constantly seeing new teams try and get towards the top. Godsent's been really trying today. They've been really, really trying. I mean, they've been trying the entirety of the Super Weekend to try and get some points. Bless their little cotton socks. But it's obviously not working out in their favor. I need to see a little bit more from them. We know they're a good team. Cloud Digital Athletics, though, they impressed me on Vikendi. Really good compound play from them. Just being able to clear Futbolist out, and then I believe it was Nova.
Oh, you've put me on the spot there.
Put you on the spot. That's the hot spot. We'll leave that. We'll cool that down a little bit. Anyway, we've asked how each other are. I hope you guys at home are feeling very, very good, but we will be getting to match very, very shortly.
Yeah, should be underway relatively soon. You can see the players are loaded up into the lobby. We're going to be getting over into that plane soon enough. And of course, on Sandhawk, those drop spots should be pretty easy to get to. It's a very small map, so not too many early combats there. But we've actually seen quite a few shifts to that Northwestern Island. I think 2 over the last 2 games of Sandhawk have been that Northwestern Island shift.
It's crazy. It's nice to see, but I think just talking about that very quickly, the drop spots are solidifying now. They are being more consistent. We're seeing people go to the same type of places. People should be now aware of where these targets, where these other teams will be playing in. So it should be a nice little fun map. And I mean, the desk gave us a really nice breakdown of a couple of things over there. I really enjoyed D-Man's telestration as well, because I felt we were doing some logic puzzles earlier today, whilst totally paying attention to everything else, because we are, you know, multitask genius. But honestly, we were looking at simplifying problems, scaling problems, exactly what you have to do in a fight where in a 1v4. You've got to scale it back, try and get those 1v1s, and that's how you're mainly going to win these fights. In first person, it's a lot easier to go for those 2v1s where you've got two people in front of you, but in third person, it's all about scouting out your opponent, getting that information on board, which is why we have so many cerebral players in PUBG Mobile. Truly the smartest of the bunch.
Get them in that IGL spot and watch them work wonders. A pretty central playing path there from Kampong to Camp Alpha. And well, it should be pretty fair for everyone involved. Not expecting too many forced hot drops, however. Wow, that's quite a circle there, Blank.
That is quite the circle. So again, we're all the way up here on the northwest. Now, Footballless still dropping at the moment. Now, I'm curious to see whether they will keep all 4 members up on this top island, because, I mean, on the mountain at least, because last time they had trouble because Execute actually were able to make their way up to the top of the mountain, take down 2 players, and the 2 players from Footballless were left high and dry over towards Hattin. Seems like they're going for the same strategy again. I don't know about this one. I mean, we'll see what happens anyway. If Execute make the same move, I just hope that Solkay and Co is aware and tries to play us a little bit more safe this time rather than play right on the hillside where you can be seen from absolutely everywhere. On the other hand, obviously, we've got Cow up here, Power AAA, a team that I have fallen in love with during this tournament. I am really happy to see them. You know, it's great. Honestly, I love to see new teams really show their prowess, and it's nice seeing Power AAA here in this tournament, doing well.
And they've got a good shout into this circle as well, over on that northern side, dropping a little bit south of Cow, moving up there from Tap Mock, so they cover that area. Clash Athletics and God Sent close to one another. Over to the west side of Paradise Resort and one of the little compounds of buildings around the area. But at the moment, Godsent not quite being spotted, and Clash Athletics not going super aggressive out of that Paradise position.
No, so this is the 2 EMEA teams here. Footballless on our screen. That's ICY down. Solkay taking them out. So it looks like actually we have a 2-2 split from the guys on Footballless, just across the river from Hattin's side, taking some more shots over towards Reeves. So Footballless feeling very, very spicy today.
Zeus trying to move up that western coast there. They did drop just south of the bridge in those compounds along the eastern side of that northwestern island. They started to move up to try and take control of that bridge, obviously a prime location, and they came into contact with a duo from Footballless. To Godsent, they found loops. They are going actually pretty close here. Zuku finds 1 and 2, taps 1 down, and looks for more. He knows Carrillo's on the hill, or at least he has an inkling that someone's over there. Yeah, I think he saw him cross to the rock. Federal a little bit further out, but might just be able to regroup here. Carrillo has spotted the rock, but there's an off angle coming through. The shots from up the hill, sending him packing. Will be work cut out for Loops to try and get Kayovsky back up, but Carrillo not quite able to push in, all on Federal.
Digital Athletics currently have control over the Paradise Resort, continuing to power off to the northeast of them. Obviously talk about Big 4, Power AAA on their north side too. So a lot of these teams that we're taking a look at a little bit more closely, they're on the south side of the map. They've got to figure out how they want to rotate into this one, considering this huge amount of water for at least Sanhok here in this circle, not only on the ocean side, but also with this river that kind of flows all the way through from that northwest island, splitting up the west and the east.
The rest of Godsent are on the northern edge of this fight as well, which means that if Federal makes a break for Kayovsky's position, more than likely going to get spotted. And for my money, I don't think they go for this res, but Federal wants to take the challenge. Reeves out in the open, not sprayed down just yet. Ducks behind the tree and finds some cover for now. Nade in hand, not going to be thrown out though, as Zuku has to hit the deck. Carrillo has found the off angle. Kayovsky though, in the meantime, has been bleeding out for this whole affair, and Zuku racks up another kill for Godsent.
Karski down. Kanina Power actually taking a fight with Class Digital Athletics. Power Triple Eight considering whether they should come down from the north side to try and third party this one. Creo coming up on the behind. A nice little pincer move there will clear out that kill from Zuku, who's been doing so much for Godsent there. But they are very, very split. As if he's hit 2 shots on him as well. Korea, what a nice little spray.
Federal giving that information all the way on over. Zuku still scouting for his team, but the ankle gets spotted, tries to shimmy behind. I'm not here, I promise. You are there. I promise that you are going to get taken down as Loops. They get some revenge, but they're down to 2 nonetheless.
Gui also onto Gonzo. So this is what we're talking about before. Do Power Triple Eight come down to third party this? And Escanilla Power making the lead. Power Triple Eight. So really good heads up play from them, playing from Cow, hearing that fighting down towards the south of them, and perfect stuff. If you are Power Triple Eight, you control like a lot of this circle right now. You know teams are most likely going to start rotating on the east side of the map, which is one of the most safe rotations. So you want to start clearing out as many teams as you can as possible, as soon as possible. That didn't make too much sense. What does make sense is what Power Triple Eight is doing right now.
Okay, I believe you. I believe that it makes a lot of sense that they're holding down this northern side with the current shift. Valuable real estate on both islands, but Futbolists opt to move over to the eastern side, leaving that smaller island. Do you think that's wise at this stage, or should they have kept their bets hedged, as it were?
Well, I mean, for Futbolists at least, you know, I think it would be pretty rare that we see this drop onto the Northwest Island. It's certainly possible. I don't mind this split from Futbolists, though, because you can just swim over to Hatin, and coming up from the beach side there around the cliffs is fairly easy. It gives you a bit of cover as well, coming in and be fairly silent about it. And I think Futbolists are very used to this crossing. We see them do it towards this beginning of the tournament, catching out a lot of different teams, including Na'Vi. So I think they're very comfortable with this position, especially holding down these couple of compounds around the coastal side. They should be in good stead.
And they can scout anyone going over towards Hatin, right, as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So if anyone tries to stop them from going on that rotation, they will know about that, and they can adjust accordingly and maybe go for a little bit more of a riskier play. We'll see what they're able to get done on the northern shore. No one going for a rotation just yet, but Power Triple Eight, they've been spotted out. Silas just beams Ice down. Nice rattle off there, and it looks like they might be going in for the flush as Silas and Selim. I just got to roll forwards. Classical Athletics back him up as well. The rest of the squad is right behind.
Just trying to clear out teams as fast as possible. They know that the real estate is small. We're in this current circle with so much of it being out in the water itself. And I mean, for Sandhawk, it's already a small map. You need to start taking position, taking a state around this map as fast as possible to call your own, and then try and fend off teams with the little amount of compounds that is available to you, because you know this is going to shift away from the south side, at least kind of center up a little bit, unless we get a hard shift coming in. Nova XQF, kind of a rough spot. Been happy with their play today, though, John, not going to lie, where they've been heading a lot more central, trying to hold it down. They saw they had much more success with that yesterday, and I'm proud to say they continue doing that today.
On board with 4 angry men at the moment on the northern side, trying to push on in, but it's the fight with Class Digital Athletics that's continuing right now. Power Triple Eight over in their town on the coast, trying to control a little bit more of Lumberyard, but their ground is ever ebbing away. Svan on a forward position for 4 angry men as well. The rest of the team yet to go in for the backup there. 3 players from Power Triple Eight currently in this town.
I mean, they lost a player earlier, obviously, to Digital Athletics. They knew that they had to take position, try and take some space as their own. And already it's kind of paying off in a little way, but what the inevitable was that teams were going to head up this way and try and take position in the compounds around this area. Top, try and take some shots over to the top side, gets down in her, and now Hasaki going to move across, but it's Sook with a beautiful little side angle and instantly flushes that one out. So now 4M can start to try and work this area, work this zone, see if they can find a dominant position within the circle.
It was an excellent forward scouting position right there from Sook. He's been on that western edge of Cal for about 2 minutes now, and he's just been tracking those movements, allowed 4AM to move down that hillside with relative safety. Even if they go for that spray, we saw what happened on the back of that. Nicely done there for Angry Men. The southwestern edge right now looking pretty chock-a-block with RRQ and Secret Jin over on that way, and that is a shift and a half. Again, we're going to the northern throws. I don't think I've seen a cow finish before, Blank, but we'll see if we get one today.
This is probably going to be one of the fastest Sandhawk games you guys will see. And blimey, does this game want to finish as quick as possible? I think it's got its dinner in the oven somewhere, chicken dinner. It needs to go. It's telling its mum, come on, I can't pause this game. It's an online game. I need to get going.
I've got a text from my delivery driver. He's going to be here in 20 minutes.
I need to get it finished. Anyway, so Sook here. Obviously, just want to quickly talk about Foreign very, very fast, John, because honestly, they're one of the teams I see do this like most efficiently, I guess, is taking several angles and then being able to work off one another. You see one shooting, someone peeks out, another guy's already instantly on it, watching for the angle. So they bait and switch a lot of times, which is really, really strong, especially in the early game where you are only dealing with one other team. Obviously, in the late game, they're very good to come together, coalesce, and then play from there. So fantastic stuff from 4AM. We love to see it. And you were mentioning how they're getting into those final circles more and more often. 250 points. 40 points between them and Bigatron is quite a lot, but they are trying their hardest to not let that gap widen.
It's just under 2 points a game, Blank. So it's not insurmountable if they just continuously make these plus EV plays, as it were. We'll see if they are able to continue to keep up the pace. The eastern edge of the circle right now, about 4 teams trying to push in from that direction. 4 Angry Men were obviously in earlier, but they have now got Kanina Power at their back. I say that, only Black-White alive for them, but they've got A1 and Bigatron to worry about.
Bigatron's usual rotation path off to the eastern side of the map, but they start on the southwest island itself, so they have a long way to go usually, and they get traffic jammed quite a lot of times here on Sandhawk. I would say Sandhawk, yes, they've had some fantastic performances, but I think it's where they struggle the most, just because of this rotation they have to make. Most teams already making it ahead of them. I mean, in a lot of other times you've seen Bigatron playing, this eastern side of the map hasn't been as contested as it has been here in PMGC, so it's caused issues for Bigatron, but they seem to be fixing those issues pretty fast. There's Alpha 7, Vitu2K hitting a nice little shot there. Will flush that one out. Team Secret Jin going down. They had a ridiculous day yesterday, right, John? But now they're starting to slip it down again. And I mean, what we've praised them for is that consistency. Today has been a little bit of a weird outlier for them.
Now RRQ trying to push through the mountains around the northwestern island. Alpha 7 are laying siege to it at the moment, and neither of these teams in the next circle. They're both going to have to move, and at the moment RRQ seem to have the better end of this fight as Senatexa goes down. BR11 able to flush that one out. The res should be in there as well, as D2E will be back on foot and they'll be able to move forwards. You can see Alpha 7 as well. They've just pieced out of this fight. They've sent away. Execute took the opportunity to move north as well, but they have run slap bang into Zeus, who will be looking to try and maybe cross over in the future.
So it actually turned out to be a very intelligent decision from Footballers. They understood that, look, if we're going to get crunched from this west side, teams are going to want to swim across to get to this eastern island. The issue with swimming across is that you kind of leave yourself bare to the teams behind you. It's kind of okay when there's one team behind you and get away with it, but when there's 4 teams in this area, Zeus, Execute, Alpha 7, RRQ, it becomes far harder to leave here, and you kind of have to play this little gauntlet between the 4 of you now. Try and be that last player, last team standing to get to this eastern island. Footballers, they've really cut their losses by doing this. As you can see, we move over to the eastern side. Cow firmly in this one. Still water as well. Christ alive, the delivery driver is on his way. He is making some text coming through the phone. I'm a 5 minutes out, buddy. I've got a text.
Got to get a speed on. We'll see just
That's how I feel. I've got a text. Happy days.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Always looking
I'm not
out.
that lonely.
Especially around holiday season as well. Always looking out for those deliveries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic stuff. But the Northwestern Island teams will now have to start to move. Alpha 7 try and go for a swim, but Execute, live up to their name, take them down. One player standing now for Alpha 7. Vitu2K out in the water, but very near to a crate.
Beautiful stuff from Zeus, though. They heard that fighting, and they're like, we'll take this time. We know that we are the team ahead of everyone else on this western island. Let's swim across as fast as we can whilst the team behind us are preoccupied. So they will get onto the eastern island. The question is, will Footballers be holding this out? We know how cheeky, how sneaky they like to be in this area around the dockside.
Footballists crossing over to the eastern island as well, paying off for them. They have a huge chunk of this circle under their control right now, Blank. There's a lot of hills around here. They can control so many ridge lines, and they'll spot anyone trying to encroach on the northern edge. Zeus, though, going for a swim might be able to cause a little bit of surprise unless Footballists are on the swivel.
That's true. That's what I said.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's what I said as well.
That's what you said as well.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
That's all right. Should I say it again?
Do you want to say it again?
I could do. Footballists here with a really, really handsome play. I'm joking. A1 though, let's take a look at them. They're on the northeast side of the circle. We're looking at them. They're getting into a lot of these last circles right now, and they're a team that's trying to make their way up the standings on the Super Weekend. Currently, they're at 45 points. Obviously, this is their first Super Weekend, so there are 8 games. Their Super Weekend on week 1 out in 69 points, so it would be pretty decent if A1 can leapfrog them by the end of Super Weekend. And with the points that they're currently putting up, they got a 5.6 average. It's looking doable.
Well, they're fighting Bigatron right now, so it's becoming less and less doable by the moment. However, they have killed Luxley. Microboy is down, which means that they are in a 3 versus 2 until Microboy gets back to his feet. Still, they're edge guarding Bigatron, and they should be all right for it. You can see the replay now coming through. Oh, they spotted out a bike. No wonder both of them got knocked there. Really nice stuff from Sinister. Good tracking on the motorbike, a very quick vehicle, and able to land those shots. Dante now on the off angle as we catch up with the live fight. Bigatron just on the edge and will need to move a little bit further forwards. Luxy dropping the smoke to allow them to.
Yeah, that's not an easy spray to hit either, John, to be honest with you, on the bike coming through. So, yes, hats off to you, Sinister. Beautiful sprays. And now Bigatron caught on the side. Black-White all the way out in the ocean, looking like an orca, trying to keep this one alive for the team. We'll see how long he can be out on this side before he gets beached in the end of it. 4am just sitting pretty in Cow. They're not going anywhere for the time being. Zeus have made it across. Football is still not playing their card as of yet. I think they would just love for the other teams coming on from the western side to kind of fight one another first and then pick up the pieces, fully control the western side of the circle and play from there. Again, we get another centralized circle on top of Cow, so 4am absolutely laughing.
Wow, okay, A1 take a knock. In response, though, they find Microboy again. That was Secret Jin who got eliminated. The compounds of Cow and Lumberyard providing incredible, well, near Tap Mock are providing an incredible windbreak to the position that footballists hold right now. All of those teams on the east will not be able to pass through there if there's a team in those positions, which there currently is. So that position pretty impenetrable. Footballists, they can move east. That's what they're doing now. They're getting in those vehicles and taking control of the ridgeline. And as you said, Blank, those teams out to the east, that's the west, sorry, that's where they can control. That's where they can really look to put that pressure on because they have that safety from the other side.
I mean, there is also a ridgeline off to their east, so they can play around this really well, kind of isolate this west side, exactly like you said there, John. And if they can control this west side, it'll be perfect. But a lot more teams than I expected were able to make it through. Vitu2K's here, Zeus is here, RRQ made a really nice rotation, taking out Team Secret Jin, but there's BTR actually going down.
What's happening on our screens? But we were looking at footballist position there. A1 taking the fight, and this is what we're saying. They are stepping up today. It's one of those teams that have managed to improve their performance coming into the day's proceedings, and they're currently, as we said before, about 24 points behind Abrupt Slayers, and they'll be looking to try and leapfrog that with the rest of the games today. Obviously, this game and the next to come through. Zeus going for a swim, though, Zyle out in the water. I think Solke has an inkling, though.
Yeah, Zyle out there just taking a bit of damage from drowning right now. Alpha Vitu2K very, very low, as is Kill Switch. It's Fate, the only one really here. Talking about BTR, I mentioned it right at the beginning there. I think this is where they struggle the most, and especially when you get a circle like this, it makes it even harder. We've seen them so many times being kept on that edge side, tend to go for those very fast rotations. You kind of have to. Realm here, beautiful little angles, makes it so easy. And what we've continued to say, what we've predicted has finally now come to pass.
Yeah, there we go. Zeus eliminated. Execute getting very, very low. It's Fate very low. Alpha 7 were eliminated on that western side, so now it's just RRQ on that southern edge. And teams looking to push in from the east, thinning out as well. Up in north of Cow, you've got A1 actually maintaining that position there that they've managed to earn themselves. Nova, they were in Paradise Resort, and they've just been sneaking around, playing edge, like we've seen them do multiple times. But this time, they actually managed to make it with all 4 players alive.
I really love this, and I mean, we've seen them do fantastically well with just 2 players. I want to see a 4-man Nova finish. Come on, let's make it happen. Okay.
Wow.
Well, you know, apparently the driver has had a delay, and the game is going to continue for a little bit longer this time. We're going to go down towards Digital Athletics. I believe they did take a knock earlier from Footballers. Footballers having to regroup, trying to get in position. RQ somehow managed to get to the surf. Again, that was between their fight with Team Secret Jin, crossing across the bridge, knowing that it'd be really tough to swim, just hedging their bets on being able to make that rotation. G9 still out in the blue, creeping up onto Footballers right now, but he is taking damage around Ram's going to come over the top. Will he spot him?
Oh, I don't know if he did. I think G9 just hit the deck right on time. Soulcade pushes over as well. Rum not able to hit the drop shot, but G9 does go down finally. Raum saves the day, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get the res. The rest of RRQ are going to gatekeep Footballist.
That was actually really, really strong from G9, exactly like you say. A knock there actually prevents the amount of time, or increase the amount of time they have to get into this circle. And RRQ with a really nice position from Overwatch, they can gatekeep Footballist. This is not the way they want it to go down. Really, RRQ playing Metal Gear Solid right now.
Well, they take the kill point back, however, as they res Soulcade, immediately goes down in the zone. He's not going to be able to crawl forwards. Of course, the tick damage just slightly too much there. I don't know why they're going for that second res. It seems like they are, though. Maybe they're just transferring meds. Raum, though, forward position against RRQ's hideout, and he's going to go down. The rest of Football is being guarded. An excellent play from RRQ.
Purely from G9. What an incredible... In that moment, he's like, look, I can either wait here, trying to get into the circle afterwards, or I can get a knock here, provide excellent landing point for the rest of my team who've already made into the circle. So wonderful stuff from him. That is a hero play and a half.
Raum does go down finally as well to D2E. Now, on the eastern edge, Nova XQF with... I think they've got 2 players now alive. 2 of them have gone down earlier. Power 888 pushing down from the north. Only 1 player standing from them, but it's 4 Angry Men really with the best of it. All 4 of them alive. And on the northern edge, they might try and dismount Class Digital Athletics' position in the lumberyard. Power 888, though, they still have their player left. Svan getting shot out from across the way. Will go down, but Nova XQF down to 1 as well.
We saw earlier today on our angle. Cool Boy have a massive clutch out for Nova XQF, getting that chicken dinner, and now we've got to see a really big clutch coming through from Jimmy, but he will go down. Regiocio will make that one happen. Perfect stuff from there. RRQ trying to get into the zone, but Digital Athletics just playing it very, very slow within the lumberyard, managed to get in, but Loops, they took a fair few casualties earlier, but they are here.
They managed to get a position, get forwards, get the spot that they need. RRQ finally going down on the northwestern edge. Footballist, actually, they go down later than RRQ, so they actually get those placement points laddering up. Beautiful stuff from them. Out healing in the zone. Regiocio trying to hold down against Silas, applying the bandage, but the blue envelops. Not going to be able to out heal that for now. Carrillo drops the smoke forwards to allow his teammate to try and take a better position. 4 Angry Men, 3 players, and they're still outside of the rest of this fight. 3 teams remain.
Considering where they've had to come from in KAO, having 3 players alive is pretty big. Now, cast your minds back to Digital Athletics versus 4AM in this similar position around Lumberyard. Let's see if they can make it happen once again, but it's Loops already putting in the punishment toward Digital Athletics, down to 3 players now.
Carrillo and Federal are forced to be reckoned with right now on the western edge, but 4 Angry Men have control of the zone right now. They have the ridgeline, and they're watching for these escapes. Prime real estate is the northern edge of this wall on the lumberyard into the next circle. Both Class Digital Athletics and Loops trying to move for it, but Carrillo gets spotted and Solus takes him down. Lickety split. Federal now last snake left for Loops.
Federal been really stepping up for Loops recently. Sook will drop up, spot Salim. He will go down. Silas round the side of this rock here, looking outwards. But will the wood keep him safe for long? Molotov's dropped down, and sure as hell, that stuff is flammable.
Not going to burn him down just yet, though. Husky controlling the ground from his belly. Really nice angles coming through, and with Class Digital Athletics, Selim being down, and only Silas and Solus there is no advantage in terms of numbers that they can leverage.
This would be 2 on the trot. Sook is in the grass, but Silas moving up. He has to make something incredible happen. There's Hasaki hitting a big shot here, but Solus coming out from the left side.
Last player standing for Class Digital Athletics. Solus hits the deck near Silas, but Federal, this team has been so quiet and they've just been such a nuisance in the side of everybody else. The Thorn is there, looking for the trade. Hasaki goes down. There's 1 player now standing for 4 Angry Men. Federal has the opportunity here, as it is going to be Class Digital Athletics falling. Federal needs to find 1. I don't think he knows, but he's crawling forwards, ever closer, ever closer. Hasaki might spot him in the grass. He's going for that knee scout right now. They know that there's only 1 other player left alive in this lobby. They're regrouping, and Federal, he has the angle. Sook looking to pop the heel, looks for the nade. Oh, if he's able to land it, do they know where he is? They don't. It's over the back. Oh, he's going long. Oh, just too far, Federal. You need to go shorter, and that gunfire gives the game away. Federal now controls the edge, finds 1. Zinhei last standing. Federal with a sliver of HP. The res is in, but they find him. He tries to go up, but Birdie gets taken down. It is 4 angry men from the north. They will be able to close it out.
That is a double in the row coming out from 4 AM, and just that last moment there, they got the res off just in time. And we'll talk about right at the beginning of that match, the crossfire coming out from the communication. Both guys jump out either side of the rock. There is no way in that situation that Federal can win that fight unless he has the nastiest of 180s. And that's what makes 4AM such a good team. It's in those moments being able to play under pressure. And you've also got to understand that in this third-party mode, if you have 2 players up and there's 1 person you're going against, in that situation, you should never lose if you play it properly. And 4AM, in literally a split-second decision, make it happen.
Yeah, that nade missing was really the pivotal moment there. If he'd have been able to land it, that was a squad wipe. If he'd have stepped up a little bit earlier, obviously he didn't know that which knocks were coming through. It was so difficult to read, but if he'd have stepped up a little bit earlier, maybe, just maybe that could have gone a different way. But it is the Chinese team, 4 angry men, who will be able to take home the chicken dinner on Sanhok. Thank you guys for staying tuned for that one, because that was an absolutely incredible game of Sanhok. Let's head back over to the lounge.
I don't know what it is about 4 AM today, but they have shown up like crazy. The back-to-back chicken dinners, that 60-point deficit they had against BTR has now dwindled away. I don't know what it is, because I don't know how the points finished out for all the teams there, but it is tiny. It is tiny.
4 angry men, no prank. No. There was the pranks today. They're having a fun time. I mean, back-to-back chicken dinners. We knew they were just potentially having an off day or two. They were just relaxing a little bit, like us in the lounge, and now they're going for that top one. Now they're aiming for the number 1 position.
It was a disastrous day yesterday, and they've delivered once again. Gain. Actually winning from, I think it was league play, day 2 league play, I think it was in the first week. It was the exact same position sort of thing. It's obviously finished in the warehouse at that point where they won. But they rotated really early on, getting to Cal really early on. Everybody else was fighting around them, so they managed a third party the way out. But to approach the position, come out of Cal down towards Tapmock like that, they were fighting with Nova. Who was the other team that was in there? There was like 2 or 3 teams. Bigatron taken out early by A1. A1. There we go. It was A1 that was in there. So yeah, they had to fight for that victory.
Yeah, and actually, let's take a closer look at 4 AM here in their victory they just had in that last game. And you can see, I mean, 1,400 damage, not too much, but the thing is, they're still taking a lot of kills.
Yeah.
And they held on strong. Where you look at like a team like Class Digital Athletics, they were hunting for kills. But the problem was when they get to that final zone, they don't have enough players left alive to actually win the game.
What I like from 4 angry men is like they take a position and they just let things happen. They're just like, you know what, they're coming to us, and every single time you come in our territory, we're going to take you down. And when you have like Xingye and Suk together, like those 2 guys are looking just so
good.
dominant. They're so good. They are some of the best players in the world.
Like they're all delivering. It has like
the entire team.
Yeah, they're all delivering, and then they need to. They absolutely need to, because they're up against Bigatron, who are leading the championships. They've gained the ground again. I think they're about 23 points, something like that, close to them. But normally this is when Bigatron step back up in the next game.
So do we have now the demon curse coming through? Like
no. He hasn't cursed anyone.
How can I curse anyone? Like, he mentions RIQ. I think they've got 4 points since he mentioned them passing Bigatron. I'm not going to get that.
Well, let's see. Let's take a look at the map results from this last match and see how many points RIQ Athena did accumulate here.
Stop it right now.
Let's take a look, though. 4 Angry Men should be coming in first with the 25 points. But again, Class Digital Athletics being the team from EMEA to lead the charge.
Explosive. No, bad game, good game, bad game, good game.
But they had 20 from Vikendi as well, so
exactly.
Really good game for them, yeah. Loops again. Loops actually consistently. Football is finally getting some points in there with the 4th place. But yeah, great to see Loops getting 17 points. They're finally starting to pull strings. But look,
They got 11 points, RRQ.
RRQ are thinking
my
they got
God.
11 points. They're starting to get the groove back on.
It's a one-game curse, you know. It's a one-game curse, and after that, the next one, it dissipates. It's
We just
gone,
ignore
fine.
Miramar these days.
It's okay. Then onto the second page, you're going to have a few teams like Bow Triple Eight.
Oh.
Still hitting a few points in
1
a few
point?
games, you know, still a few coming their way. But, wait, got 3 points. Also, Godsend, you know, a little bit better than what we've been seeing so far. You know, I think they actually increased their average with that one.
But let's look down even further. Secret Jin.
I know, it's not been a good day.
It's not been a good day. They had 2 chicken dinners yesterday. They were looking so good to come in today with Aaron Gills as well, but they are struggling.
What was it, 74 points yesterday? You got?
77.
77, yeah. Oh, yes, because they went one better than the 74-point footballist game. So, they just fell away again.
It's the highs and lows, unfortunately.
Well, we'll see.
PUBG
Got Aaron
Mobile.
Gill coming up, so maybe they'll rise back up again.
True. That is true. Let's actually take a little bit of a closer look at 33's Fang coming in for 4 Angry Men and his stats as well. We have a pretty new graphic that's all working for you guys. And you can see on the way this whole works, the closer they are to the edge with any of those one given statistics means the closer they are to being the #1 person with that value. So right now, his damage actually is #1 so far in the 12 matches we had.
And the kills, yeah.
It's 2 lowest points, so damage received and healing done, so which is a good thing, really, when you think about it. He tanks a lot less damage, and like 9,439 damage solo is
highest knockouts,
mental.
It's
highest damage
conversions as well is really impressive. Like you say, 44 kills, it's 38, so it's just a little off getting the conversions in, but massive assists as close as well. So he's delivering. Him and Sook on that team right now have been. I mean, Sook especially today has been popping off.
Zingay also,
Yeah.
All of the team is just so talented, and like Zvan is just the one that we're thinking about. He's the banner man, but like every single one of their players is an individual talent. They're superstars.
The crazy thing is, you think of how close they were to winning Erangel as well. So this could, and like they were very close at the top there. Zingay obviously going big with Nova. So they were very close to a triple chicken dinner today. I can't speak.
Don't worry, it's all good. We're just still stretching our legs here on the desk. Let's take a look at our do-the-do moments from this last match. And again, talking a lot about 4 a.m. But Footballist Max, I believe you were saying that they had a really good chance to perform even better in this match.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit better from that one. Like, they had a good high ground position up to the western side of Tap Mark, and I was expecting them to get good information, maybe a few kills along the way from a distance, especially they always tend to fight versus Execute in that position and kind of cancel out each other in that position. So very unfortunate run of event. But this was a pretty, slow early to mid-game stage. It really all break out when Circle did center up on Tatmok and Cal in the northern side. Until then, you had a few shots going back and forth, but that is when Bigatron just full centered, like, you know what, we're going to go for the northern coastline, take the position, which they did try, but unfortunately, they did die pretty early on in that game.
We had a couple of fights. Obviously, we had the full fights over on the west. There was like 4 or 5 teams over, basically trying to figure out who's going to swim over, who's going to go over the bridge. Like, we know we're all in trouble here. And then obviously on the far eastern side, everybody that had these big brain rotates that had gone around the north and towards Cal were just too late. The Bigatron came in way too late. Obviously, the fact is they have the furthest distance to go. They're down in Camp Charlie, so they had to come all the way up late. So everybody that was coming in late would just got absolutely nailed by the circle. And you can see 4 a.m. This is where they were in. They're in Cal, and they're just picking everyone off that came towards them, in towards that area. RRQ and Footballists. I don't understand why Footballists kept trying to res out in the blue in Circle 5.
It's not good. You can't res in Circle 5. Like, Circle 4 may be the limit, but Circle 5 is impossible, so you should never really give it a shot. But then, of course, Loop's trying to get involved in the final moments. Carrillo trying his best, but unfortunately, this is the off angle. Just held down by one player of Class Digital Athletics to really mow them down. And then they were down to one player. It was going to be Federal, almost able to find that clutch moment. That was a hard one. Yeah.
So close. Yeah, the nade that he just needed to cook it a little bit more. This is the moment you saw him do. You're like, maybe, it's gonna happen. No. Yeah, but no, it didn't quite happen, unfortunately. For DA, I think they'll be happy with 20 points. They'll probably be a little angry they didn't get the win because they drop into Paradise Resort, so that it is their backyard. So, but I think that they'll be happy.
Yeah, and considering the overall rankings as well, I think it's gonna be a big part of where these teams do stand. If they'll be happy for the results we've had. Let's take a look right now and see how close 4 Angry Men have closed the gap up against Bigatron here, because it should be I'd say around what you said, 23 points, Demon, around there?
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there? Well, you know what? I'm not going to do that math.
I think that's 20.
17.
17. Yeah, they're going close.
Okay,
I'm
I
not
did
doing
it
math,
wrong.
but
I did it
I'll
wrong.
anyway.
I'm
not
not
gonna
doing
do that, Bob.
I'm going to get it wrong all the time. But Class, entering back that top 3. They were there at the start of the first Super Weekend. They were there for quite some time. They've slowly been slipping away, but now they took back that point of interest. Was
They were 60
220
points
points.
Yeah.
They were 16, it's down to 17. So we were talking about it. It's like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like, things can go wrong, and they have done. Generally, I expect to see probably Biggitron answer back, but a great day from 4 Angry Men. If they'd have just knocked yesterday's game into a sort of average stats performance, they'd be at top of the table.
So, Max, Demon, have you guys seen The Incredibles, the movie?
Yeah.
So
Well, the new one or
kid's
the
name? The first
real one?
What's the kid's name?
Maybe, I don't know.
The fast one. Really fast.
No,
Can we call him Flash?
Okay, we'll call him Flash. For right now, to me, Biggitron's kind of like him at the very end of the movie, where he's obviously extremely fast running track, and his family's telling him, no, slow down, keep it close.
Oh, yeah.
Close second.
Yeah. That's what's happening, because they started to get a little too far ahead of the pack here, and they have to slow things down. But we can see,
Scripted.
yeah, our second page. And Execute have finally surpassed officially